So, how can a spiritual poem and a piece of computer code be part of the same ancient human quest? Today, we're going to explore two very different tools that are both searching for hidden divine patterns in the universe. It's a really fascinating look at how we try to find meaning, whether we're using metaphors or mathematics.
This beautiful line, it comes from a Malay poem called Whispers of Eternal Mystery, and it really sets the stage for our entire explainer by asking this fundamental question. When we search for truth, what's more important, the curiosity that drives us forward or the clarity we sometimes find?
So on one side, you have this deep philosophical poem, and on the other, you've got a super technical bash script that's designed for Koranic numerical analysis. They seem like they're from different planets, right? One speaks in metaphor, the other speaks in pure logic. But, as you're about to see, they're both aiming for the exact same thing. All right, let's start by digging into the poem's central idea, this concept of a perpetual dance between the questions we ask and the answers we happen to find.
You see, the poem suggests that knowledge isn't some final destination. It's not a finish line you cross. Instead, it's this constant dynamic interplay. Questions are like wildflowers. They're unpredictable, they're beautiful, and they push us to explore. And the answers? Well, they're the lighthouses, giving us these brief moments of stability and direction right before the next question pops up.
So that's the big puzzle, isn't it? How can something as structured and, frankly, as rigid as computer code possibly fit into this fluid, philosophical idea of an eternal dance? I mean, code is all about finding the one correct answer, not dancing with mystery. And the poem then takes it a step further, posing another profound question. It asks us to really think about the relationship between existence itself and the numbers we use to make sense of it all. I just love this line. It's not framed as a battle between the tangible world and the abstract numbers we use to describe it. No, the poem says they meet softly. It's asking us to wonder what actually comes first, the universe in all its messy glory, or the clean mathematical language we invented to try and measure it. Okay, so now let's switch gears and look at our second artifact, the code. This bash script is built on a concept called the Mathani framework. Now, the term Mathani comes straight from the Quran, and it refers to this idea of divine repetition, of layered patterns and meanings. And the search for these very patterns is exactly what this code is designed to do. So if you strip away all the technical jargon, that's what this script really is. It's a modern digital tool being used for a very, very ancient form of contemplation. You can think of it as a machine built specifically to hunt for hidden numerical and symbolic patterns within a sacred text. Okay, so how exactly does this code go about searching for these divine patterns? Let's break down its method. It's actually pretty systematic. So the script looks at any given number through 4 different lenses. First up, there's textual analysis, where it looks at the context of the verse it's related to. Next, it does a numerical analysis, finding all its mathematical properties, like its factors or if it's a prime number. The third lens is symbolic mapping, which is where it links that number to divine concepts like the names of God. And finally, it does a broader mathematical exploration, just checking for any other unique properties. It's a really multi-layered way of looking at things. And here's where it gets really concrete. Let's take the number 237 as an example. The script finds a direct symbolic link to al-Wahid, which means the unique. But it doesn't just stop there. It then calculates the sum of the digits, so 2 plus 3 plus 7, which is 12, and it finds that the number 12 maps to al-Bari, or the maker. See how it's layering the meaning? The script also analyzes the number's factors. For 237, the factors are 1, 3, and 79. And as you can see on this chart, the script flags the number 3 as a ritual match. That means it's a number that already holds some kind of significance in spiritual practices. The code is literally designed to spot these kinds of connections. So let's circle all the way back to that beautiful philosophical question from the poem. What comes first, the thing itself or our measurement of it? It felt like one of those unanswerable poetic questions, right? Well, this is where things get really, really fascinating. Because look at this. This is where it all converges. Within the script's own logical system, it contains a direct mapping. The number 7, a prime number, a ritual number, a number that's deeply embedded in creation stories across cultures, is explicitly linked to the name al-Khaliq, which means the creator. The logical framework of the code provides its own kind of answer to the poem's question. And this brings us to the core revelation of this whole thing. These two seemingly opposite methods, the philosophical poem and the logical script, they're not at odds with each other at all.
They are both human-made frameworks designed to explore the same profound mystery of divine order. Poetry just uses the language of metaphor and feeling. Code uses the language of logic and calculation. But the underlying quest, that search for pattern, for significance, for some kind of hidden structure, is identical.
When you really think about it, this is what we as humans have always done. We've used philosophy, we've used math, we've used sacred texts to try and find the patterns of existence. Computer code is just the newest language we've developed for this ancient search. It's just one more tool in our big quest for meaning.
And that leaves us with one final provocative thought to chew on. We've seen how both poetry and code can be used to find meaning. But if our tools, our frameworks, shape what we're able to discover, does that mean the patterns are really out there? Or are they just reflections of the very systems we build to look for them? It's a huge question that sits right at that incredible intersection of faith, science, and art.